Hello, guys. Good day. Welcome to our lesson 7 in International Business and Trade. So, for our lesson 7, we're going to discuss the how could we appraise foreign markets. When we say appraising or appraise, it means you will assess the value of something. Okay, so in this lesson, we will discuss how are we going to assess the value of foreign markets. So, we will tackle market size, growth growth trends and structure, segments, ayan, market segments, and exchange rate determination. So at the end of this lesson, you should be able to learn about the market size and trends, understand market structure and segments, or yung market segmentation na tinatawag natin, discuss the methods in determining exchange rate, and explain the different means of market appraisal. So, this is the content of our discussion for today. So, let's start with the market size and growth trends. Okay. So, what is market size and growth trends? Okay. These are important measurements for international businesses as it tells how much the business is selling and at what rate. Okay, so that is the market size and growth. And um, through the yung sinasabi nating market size or size of the market, it is depicted as a unit of sale or turnover of a product or industry at a given period. So, hindi lang siya kung gaano karami yung client or customer sa isang bansa or isang lugar, it's also the unit of sale. So, kung magkano yung nabebenta, ilan. So, yun. So, yun ang basehan ng market size. Again, hindi lang siya yung mga potential na client na pwedeng bumili or population in one country. Although, kabilang yon sa market size, pero mas kinukuha, okay, ang unit of sale or turnover of a product or industry at a given period. Now, we can tell that the market grows if the percentage of the market size changes. So, si market size, ayan, unit of sale siya, ayan, in a given industry at a given period. Tapos, we can say that the market grows or there is yung growth trends niya kapag ka nag increase yung percentage ng market size. Okay. And through the improvement of other measures like segmentation, penetration, and market attractiveness. When we calculate market size, hindi siya hindi siya madaling trabaho. Okay? Kasi ano siya eh, maraming pasikot-sikot. It's somehow difficult, but it is a necessary task. And it takes a lot of work. Whether the business is a startup, ayan, mag-umpisa ka pa lang, nag, nag-check ka pa lang if there are venture capitalists or seasoned business seeking places to invest, naghahanap ka pa lang ng investor mo, um, you should have an idea how the market or where the market is going in a particular country. So to put it in perspective, ayan, syempre yung mga nag-venture, mostly ng mga investors na nag-venture in businesses, they invest um, in a minimum of $1 billion. Okay, most of the time. Okay, which is why you have to understand that the market size is a serious deal. Okay, so that is why we really need to calculate or measure the market size and the growth trends. Next is let's define, okay, or let's have these three steps in identifying the market size. Okay, so the first one is you have to identify the target market. Okay, and determine what kind of people and profiles would be using the product and service. So again, matagal naman na nating naririnig yung target market. So when we identify or when we want to know the target market, kailangan meron yung mga variables such as gender, age, location, gaano ba kadami yung ini-spend or willing i-spend for a particular product or service na ino-offer mo. Yung mga variables na yon can play a huge role in understanding the target market the business wants to serve. Sa stage ng identifying the market size na ito, which is you will identify the target market, the business should have a clear definition of the target customer. Kailangan alam mo na kung ano yung malalaman mo na ma-realize mo na kung ano yung or sino yung target market mo or target customer mo. You also have to create a profile that would put them in a typical category and an estimated number of target customers. So that is the first step in identifying the market size. So after identifying your target market, you have to identify the type of information needed for the sources. Yung sources mo could be through online, or through yung mga na-publish na research and other journals or publications. So these are important questions as as it will entail cost in acquiring, and the other can be free but limited. For example, pwede ngang kumuha ka ng mga free researches online, pero ang makikita mo lang ay abstract. Ayan, you cannot see kung ano yung mga kung ano yung buong research na yon. If you're going to look at it, di ba, karamihan ng mga published research, may bayad siya before you can access that. Oftentimes, yung mga free, limited lang yung makikita mo. So, it will entail cost if you want to see the whole details. So, oftentimes, yung mga information that are available through conferences and gatherings, ayan, can also help. Um, they can also share valuable information, yung mga tao na nandoon. But again, it will still cost you kasi you have to attend that. You have, kung merong mga tickets or whatever, kung paano ka or however you can go there in a particular conference or gathering. So yun. So again, after getting the target market, you have to identify the type of of the information you needed. Kung kaya naman na online lang and then sa free ka lang, but limited yung information, tingin mo naman, kasya na doon, kaya pwede na doon yung mga information na makukuha mo, edi better kasi makakatipid ka. Pero karamihan, they are willing to pay for that and it will really entail cost. Now, and the last step is the business needs to determine the penetration rate. Syempre, different products have different penetration rates. Medyo complicated to on the side na kapag marami kang products na binibenta, mas marami kang pag-aaralan na penetration rate. Okay? So, syempre, ang factor sa penetration rate would be geography. Ayan, kasi yung ibang states or ibang province or ibang area within a country can have different regulations or they have different preferences then that may speed up or slow down the penetration of your product. So, kailangan mo rin siyang pag-aralan. Whether, halimbawa, sa Philippines, iba ang penetration rate ng kapag ka nasa Manila ka, iba kapag ka nasa Visayas, iba pag nasa Mindanao, iba pag nasa province, iba pag nasa city. So, you still have to study the penetration rate within a country and within each state or province or area. So, yun. So, ganun, medyo complicated siya. So, but, again, sabi ko nga kanina, when we calculate the market size, it takes a lot of work, but it is really necessary whenever you will appraise the foreign markets or pag-aaralan mo yung ibang bansa, especially kapag papasok ka in the international business. Next, after determining or after you undergo in the different steps in identifying the market size, you can choose two different approaches to know the market size in a country. First is the top-down approach, and the second one is the bottom-up. Okay, so medyo narinig na rin natin ang top-down at bottom-up. So let's just put it in the context ng pag-appraise ng foreign markets. Sa top-down, you will see what the analysts are saying about the product and market. So if you're going to look at it, each country meron silang mga market analysts, economic analysts, so yun. So, sa top-down, you're going there. Pupunta kayo sa kanila, and then you're going to see kung ano yung assessment ng mga analysts in a particular area or a particular country. What's important here sa top-down approach is the business needs to be a first entrant. Sila ang pioneer in the said area. Okay, that is in the top-down approach. Whereas a bottom-up approach, you will be going directly to the market and getting the information straight from the customers, buyers, suppliers, or even competition. Okay? So, sa bottom-up approach, ito ay medyo mas matrabaho kasi you're going to deal with many people. Pupuntahan mo or kakausapin mo, interviewin mo, magpapasagot ka ng surveys directly sa customers, buyers, suppliers, and even yung mga parang companies na medyo hawig sa industry mo, or you are in the same industry, yung competitors mo. So you will still you will talk to them. Okay? Pupunta ka sa kanila directly. So however, it is still not a sufficient gauge despite getting information from these people, as it is really difficult to get the exact market size. So ang idea lang is you have to use all the information just to get an idea about the market size and whether it is a good area to enter and to invest that market. Next type or next way in approaching foreign markets is through market structure and segments. So what is market structure and segments? So market structure and segments, these pertains to a group of people taken from a large market who share the same characteristics and commonality in buying behaviors. So these people are grouped together into segments or subgroups, thus the term market segmentation or market segment. So this helps the marketer to better understand the customers and tailor strategies and products specific to these groups. Okay. So what is a market segment? So market segment, so while they have the same buying characteristics and the same response to marketing stimuli, they may belong to different demographics and can be individuals or businesses. So see, segmentation, it plays a role of separating these people, so yung bawat segment into subgroups of common characteristics. So example ng successful segmentation is um, from Victoria's Secret. Ayan. So syempre, ang primary na na-discover nila is ang primary market segment nila ay mga babae. Okay? But through their further research and segmentation, they discovered na merong subgroup pa ito, which is halimbawa mga women. So under nito meron pang teenagers. Okay, mga teenage girls. So they prefer pink lingerie. Okay, so that is why they create an entire new product line which is called pink. Okay. So again, that is from parang sineseparate mo na yung mga market mo or target market mo na merong common buying behavior or common characteristics. Ngayon, sa market segmentation, yung segment na ito, lalagyan mo pa siya ng subgroup. Ayan, para mapag-aralan mo yung market size mo or you better understand the market structure. So, yun. So, and then, um, market segmentation is a process used by marketers to group similar consumers together. So parang yung sa market segment. So there are three aspects of syempre si market segmentation muna pala is it helps them better target the marketing efforts by sending the right messages to the right consumers or market. Kasi yung iba, 'di ba, pwede naman na maganda yung commercial mo or pwede naman yung okay naman talaga yung marketing effort mo pero you are not sending it to the right market, to your right consumer. So yun, so tinutulungan ka when you do market segmentation, mas matutulungan ka nito na i-send ang right messages to the right people. So there are three aspects of segment. Number one is homogeneity, which means the consumers in the segments have common needs. So when we say homogeneous, diba, homo, it means one. So uh, there are similarities. Okay, you have common needs when you are under homogeneity. Next is distinctive. Okay, the consumers in the group are different in some ways from consumers in other groups. So they you will now compare ayan the first group to the other consumers or the other groups. Okay, there meron na siyang distinction. So titingnan niyo na kung anong pinakaiba. And then third is the reaction. Consumers in the segment will have similar responses to the marketing and advertising they see. So, dito naman sa reaction, titingnan naman natin from the word reaction kung ano yung response nila to some marketing or advertising na makikita nila. So, si market segmentation could also be based on consumer behavior. So this involves grouping consumers according to how they feel about a certain product or the knowledge of those products. So the consumers who are very interested, for example, yung mga consumers na um, interested in gourmet cooking, ayan, yung mga mahilig magluto with gourmet, they are likely grouped together for firms focused on the sale of exotic spices, rare wines, fine cookware, and sophisticated appliances. So that is one example of market segmentation. So again, you can classify it as homogeneity. So aspect ito ng market segment wherein pare-parehas kayo ng needs. Distinctive, i-compare yung etong need nitong isa to the needs and the buying behavior of the other groups and their action. You will check on how the people will respond to the marketing and advertising na makikita. These are different types of market segmentation, or we call it variables. First one is our demographic variables, geographic, psychographic, and behavioristic variables. So under the demographic, ayan, I know this is one of the most parang yung familiar tayong lahat. So we can classify or group your market according to age, gender, race, ethnicity, income, education, occupation, family size and life cycle, religion, and social class. Okay, so these pertains to that parang most of the time this pertains to that yung demographic state ng bawat tao. Okay? So you can segment your market through these variables. Next is the geographic from the word geography. So kung saang place, kung saang lugar siya nakatira, it could be the region where the market, where the particular people are included. Urban, suburban, or rural, city size, country size, state size, market density, climate, and terrain. So, pati ito, you can also classify your market segment according to yung sa climate na nararanasan nila or basta any factor na sa tinitirahan nilang lugar. Okay, psychographic is from the word psych, so it pertains to their personality, attributes, motives, and lifestyle. So we can classify our market segment through the person's or people's personality and even their lifestyle. Yung motives nila, gusto lang ba nila or mahilig ba sa fashion itong particular country na to? So yun. So pati iyon ay kasama or you can segment your market according to their psychographic variables. And the last one, which are behavioristic variables. So you can classify your market segment through the volume usage, na gaano ba karami ang kinakain or ginagamit na particular people na ito or group of people. End use, benefit expectations, brand loyalty, even this, pwede nating i-classify in our market segmentation, and the price sensitivity. Mas gusto ba nila ng mura or mas gusto ba nila ng mahal pero maganda yung quality. So that is the types. Again, these are the 4 types of market segmentation. We have demographic, geographic, psychographic, and behavioristic.